Hi, I'm Asif Farouk of Finextra, and I'm joined by the executive producer of Innotribe Startup Challenge, Nektarios Liolios. Thank you for joining us. So can you explain to us a little bit about the difference between Innotribe and Swift and how they're related?
Innotribe is a team of people who are all Swift employees. We are part of Swift. We are a Swift department. We were created as a Swift initiative. We're all employed by Swift. And the relationship is that we're trying to do something that is a little bit on the side, if you like, but still under the same premise, under the same missive, which is the collaborative brief that Swift has as a cooperative. So the tagline of Innotribe is enabling collaborative innovation. And our role is to be this industry body that brings the financial industry together to look at innovation and allow them to do something that they might not be able to do within their own organizations.
And how about the community aspect of Swift? How's that related to Innotribe?
Ultimately, everything that Innotribe does has a community view. Okay, we don't do anything for Swift. Innotribe has ultimately two different streams. We have an inward-looking stream where we look at culture change and mind change within the organization, create an awareness within the Swift workforce. But at the same time, the main thing that we do, if you look at the Innotribe conferences, if you look at the Startup Challenge, any kind of activity that Innotribe does with a public face is a community-driven initiative. The Startup Challenge, for instance, is looking at providing a platform for the community to give the financial institutions access to startups, and that's pure community play.
So we've noticed the startup scene exploding in a lot of interesting different directions. There's future cities tech, there's fintech, there's tech. In your opinion, what do you think is the most exciting startup direction?
Well, we've been engaging with startups for a number of years now. Innotribe is 5 years old. The Startup Challenge has been around for about 4 years in various guises. So in its current format, it's been around for just over 2 years. And we start seeing trends. Okay, the more exposure we have to startups, the more we engage with them, we see a variety of different directions. I wouldn't say one is more exciting than the other. I think one of the things we notice is that there are fashions, for want of a better word. So there's a huge trend to have something that's a bit more social, a bit more ethical at the moment. Quite a few companies come up with educational programs or products. I get excited when I see companies that have more of a wholesale B2B focus. So I think historically you would see a startup being the two guys in a garage who built something because they didn't like the service they received from the bank and then built a quirky app or personal finance management system. But I think we also start seeing increasingly people who've been in the industry, they've recognized that there's a gap or there's a need for improvement, and they left the industry and built their own thing. So this is where I get excited by. So in what we see at the moment, it's still quite a broad spectrum of ideas and concepts and products. I wouldn't say there's a particular direction for one individual kind of stream.
So like you said, the challenge has been running for a couple of years now in different guises. How has running the challenge changed over the last few years?
The first Innotribe Startup competition was in Toronto 2 years ago, Cyber Toronto, which was a one-off. It was an experiment. It was us trying to see if we can build a mechanism that can attract companies, come and pitch in front of an industry audience, and the key difference between then and now is that the program's gone global now. We run regional competitions. We've built this large community of about 200 people from the industry and from adjacent industries who understand innovation, who we use as a judges network to do the pre-screening. So they help us select the finalists for the regional challenges. So what has changed is we're smarter in the way we do it, but we've also built a bigger network, and we can draw from more areas, both in terms of applicants, but also in terms of judges. Because ultimately the whole thing is there to bridge between the bankers and the startups, right? So our key kind of challenge is to get as many startups as possible to apply, find all the exciting companies, but on the other hand also find the right people within the financial industry who are the right people to judge it, but also the people who would recognize an interesting product and maybe partner with a company, use them for their systems.
So Cybos is approaching now in a couple of days. Can you tell us a little bit more about what's going to happen in Dubai?
Yeah, I should.
Yeah.
We have 15 really exciting companies. They have all come through this process where they have already been filtered in the regional competition. So what you see is the best of the best. As in the previous year, we have quite a broad spectrum of companies. So first of all, we operate in two categories, early stage and later stage. So startups and innovators, as we call them. And it's interesting to see that we have some more consumer-heavy ideas, like an interesting app to manage your personal finances. And that goes all the way to the other end, where we've got something that is a clearing system for governments. We've got a company that's built something very specifically towards the SEPA solution in Europe, which is a regulatory initiative. So there's a it's a very broad variety of different products that we have. And I think it's going to be interesting to see what the audience will think is the best. I have my own ideas, but I'll save them for afterwards.